Wake and bake. 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 Wake and bake.
All right. It is Wake and Bake. The lineups for the Cubs and the Giants up at Oracle Park in San Francisco. We're down here in Los Angeles. I'm with
Big Vlad.
Big Vlad, aka Yankee Royalty, aka what are all your AKAs?
Let's just stick with Judge Worshipper for today.
Judge Worshipper 420 for the Wake and Bake. We got a late Wake and Bake today, and that's because there was no real morning games, huh?
Yeah, no East Coast 1 o'clock games, so we had to stick with the one of our 1 o'clock games here, 12:40. Speaking of which, let's just get my pop parlay.
Yeah, let's get to the important stuff. Gambling.
All
right away.
So
here we go.
Weekly pop parlay for the stream.
I got it on as the background, but I'm going to cover up our faces.
I got it right here. It's a parlay, 3 picks. Cleveland Guardians at the Kansas City Royals minus 115. Cincinnati Reds on the road in St. Louis plus 115. And the Giants at home against the Cubs, which we're watching here at negative 104.
What's interesting there, I think the riskiest game you have right here is Guardians Royals. Why did you take the Guardians? What's going on there?
I just like it also comes on the odds. Like the Royals were probably minus 120 or slight favorite. The Guardians are just one of those pesky teams on the base paths, and I just think it's could be one of those games. This is like not based on watching any of those series at all. So, and I would have thought the Reds Cardinals game's risky.
Yeah, the Reds Cardinals is a little bit risky. I just feel like Kansas City and Cleveland Guardians, that's a huge series for the AL Central. I mean, those are the two dogs. We could throw Minnesota in there too, but I feel like those are some tough ones. But
I guess I just don't respect the AL Central enough to think anything's a big series. So,
do you respect the AL Central more than you respect the NL Central?
Yes.
Yes. The NL Central is an interesting one, right? Like I felt like every team in that division, I've been like, they're done. But Milwaukee's a good team. Or are they just cleaning up on not so good teams?
I haven't watched the National League game unless it was inter-series play.
Unless we're forced to watch it here for Wake and Bake.
I mean, I just watched the Yankees get killed by the Mets for 2 days.
Yeah, I thought when they got rid of the DH, it would make it more intriguing. And I still have that stale old school baseball taste in my mouth. It has not been washed out yet.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think we still have more the.
I mean, we have if not the best, one of the best, and obviously one of the most historic NL teams, like walking distance from our places too.
Yeah, I mean they're built like an AL team for sure.
Yeah, they're built like a Yankees juggernaut squad. So this game right now is about to kick off, so get your bets in if you have not. Look, the Chicago Cubs, interesting team. I know that they brought back Cody Bellinger this year. I was a little. Where were you on him? I kind of during the offseason on the hot stove. Were you really interested in him, or were you like, I don't know?
No, and not for any other reason other than I didn't think the Yankees could sign anybody if they were going to try to get Soto. So it was kind of like I would have felt like, okay, now we're not getting Soto or at the time signing a starting pitcher, but I definitely thought he was a good player that could help a team. I just with the way he's been shitty a few years, as it seems like every other year, I didn't think that contractually it would be that good. But what did he end up getting? Like a 2 or 3 year, like front loaded deal?
Yeah, let's look up his contract. I felt like if he was like who he was last year, it'd been a perfect mix for the Mariners. We've just had a really tough time with offensive free agents, just historically, of signing people on the offensive side, and something going on. There's a curse. So it says Bellinger is going to turn 29 this July, so it's almost his birthday. Yeah, making $27.5 million this year. He has a player option for 2025 with a $2 million buyout that would be payable on December 31st, 2024. There is a $25 million player option also for 2026 with a $5 million payout that would be payable in installments. So he controls everything. So he could have a shitty year this year and be like, you know what? Yeah, I'll come back and make 27.5.
At least, yeah.
That is a great contract for a player. Is he? But he was a Boris guy too,
but
right?
He still wanted. I mean, but all of these guys wanted 5, 6, 7 year deals, and they like. I think that's what we're seeing now is the shorter. If you're good enough, and if a team's desperate enough, for the Mariners to spend that on a short term, like just not getting locked up with paying guys a lot of money when they're washed up. Is one thing, but paying front-loaded deals like this, if you're not in your immediate window, is crazy. But I mean, I think you guys, are desperate for those extra bats and anybody with some star potential. So I mean, I thought it would have made sense.
Well, let's see what half of the year's over. So let's see what $13-14 million got you. Got you 264 bats. So looks like he's missed a little bit of time here. 9 home runs, 34 RBIs, 273 OPS of 765. So he's a bit quite under his career average.
Yeah.
So he's underperformed as well. So,
but I think that's still, I think that he could look closer to last year by the end of the year.
Now, across the diamond, we have another free agent that was, I want to say, out of his damn mind, Boris and them, of like what they were trying to get for him. And that was Matt Chapman, third baseman now for the Giants, but he was up in Toronto. Formerly, I saw him quite a bit when he was in Oakland, but he turned down a shitload of money. We actually did a video on this and kind of pieced together early on in the or actually late in the off season last year on the hot stove. Matt Chapman turned down a huge deal, I believe, with Toronto and gambled on himself. And let's pull up his contract. I think he was looking in the range of pretty much. Let's see. Well, he got a 3-year, $54 million contract with the Giants, including $2 million in signing bonuses, $54 million guaranteed. All the contracts are guaranteed. But let's pull this up. When he turned down contract, Blue Jays. The Blue Jays tried, like right now, like a year ago. Here it is. And this was earlier.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. Chapman turned down $100 million, like a 6-year or
Go up. I thought it says 3 year for 54.
That's what he got. But what he turned around was it returned off six for 120 in Toronto. Boris had him turn that down. So I think Boris had a pretty rough offseason.
Yeah, he had his worst offseason ever for sure. But things are changing. You know, it's like the unicorns are getting more money than anybody's ever seen. And everybody else is going to be stuck well under that. Whereas, you know, you would assume everybody's just been assuming the things are getting crazy. I mean, Rendon, how much does he make? 30?
Donald Sterling. So Rendon, yeah, I could look him up right now.
I think he makes like 30, but like, you know, I think the guys that are pretty good, if you're not like absolutely great, you're not going to get what Boris and these guys been thinking. I mean, all of his guys took a beating, and those short 1, 2, 3 year deal shits. So, yeah, that was but like, I wonder if they would make that same mistake next year.
Well, Rondon's, I just wanted to pull this up. I thought I knew it off the top of my head. I was pretty close. Signed a 7-year, $245 million contract with the Angels after the 19. But Hanno, my co-host on Rye Bread Mustard, even though we're trashing them, and we love to trash the Angels more than any team, but he goes, I would be a liar if I wasn't begging for him after the 2019 World Series.
Yeah, but that seems to be like right around that time. That's a year before the pandemic, where everybody, it seems, was getting that kind of stuff, and owners were a little more crazy. So I don't see everybody. Everybody thought they were getting those types of deals.
So
Chapman also didn't really help himself last year. He started off scorching hot and sucked,
and then turned down a contract, and then he sucks, like you said.
Yeah.
So let's see what that gets you. So 3 years, $54 million. You do the math. That's under 20 a year right there. So, and he was turning down a solid $20 million a year. 9 home runs, 33 RBIs. His OPS is a little bit down. His average is just about there, but the defense is what you're paying for. Also went to
has a lot of runs.
Also went to one of the very many colleges I went to. Cal State Fullerton was a Titan here. First round draft pick by the A's, right here out of Victorville. So halfway to Vegas, in the middle of nowhere. That's where this guy's from. So those are our 2 featured guys that we were looking at, just because there was a lot of talk about both of those guys this offseason, and they're both signed late.
Yeah.
These were the 2 guys still hanging around. But that being said, we're kicked off here. Your parlay is officially underway. But we'll take a quick break, and we will get back, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Subway Series that just went down. I know that we got to talk about it. We're also going to talk about my Mariners slipping. You sat here last week, and you were like, don't get so excited because you got a 10-game lead. And look, the lead has melted away like it was fucking Frosty the Snowman in June. So anyways, we'll be right back. We got 4-time Gold Glove winners, 3-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger. And look, the reason why I bleached my hair back in the 2000s. What's up, Brett?
I love it. I love it. You had the hair, huh?
That was like my college look.
That was my thing. My kids still tease me about it. They said, Dad, why don't you go bleach your hair? I said, Dad's getting a little old for that. I said, that was just a phase I went through. It was kind of a shtick. And I used to tell people when I bleached my hair, I'd say the city expects it. So just don't worry about it. Get out of my way. Every 3 weeks, I had my routine.
Did you get your hair done by somebody here?
I did. No, I did. I had a young lady who would come to the ballpark, actually, and I had a barber chair. It was a hair bleaching station. And there was a couple guys on the Mariners that would get it done too. But every 3 weeks she would come in. We had a little office space off the clubhouse, and I'd get it done. So that was fun. That brings back pretty cool memories.
All right, we're back, and we're gonna talk about it whether you like it or you don't, Vlad. We're gonna talk about this Subway Series, always one of the marquee crosstown rivalries we have. We have the Freeway Series over here in Los Angeles, and then we have the Subway Series.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, it's called the Freeway Series. You didn't know? Yeah, they have a name. Let's go to your guys' website. Let's see what's going down here. Let's see what you guys
aren't looking too good.
Let's see what they're trying to shove down our throats. Oh, it's Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge.
Other than Judge, of course.
I mean, you guys you're running into a fucking scorching hot New York Mets grimace led New York Mets. That is the craziest thing. That's one of the things that's probably the funnest story on social media, right? All the grimace stuff that's going down.
Yeah.
So if anybody didn't know, so grimace, he threw out just the first pitch. That's like all they could get was grimace somebody in a grimace suit at the time to throw out the first pitch, and since then the Mets have been scorching hot. And also what sucks is it's taking probably Pete Alonso possibly off of the trade market. Maybe
I heard on the BT and Sal show that talks of the Mets, no matter what they do, they're going to be a mix and match, trade some pieces off and acquire things that make sense. So they might still be 100% thinking if they could turn Alonso into something else and get something for him for losing him in free agency and still compete. I mean, and plus, I think with the way they've been playing and the way they've been hitting, hasn't been, out of this world. So they might be able to think that they could do that without him.
So I hear that. I also feel like if they have a bad stretch here in the next couple of weeks, he's going back on. I mean, you're not going to pull a major haul, but you get a good haul for him. I know he's a rental. That's the thing. But you can still get some good prospects out of that. You probably get some good arms, especially if you're trading with Seattle, or some maybe not 1A top prospects, but maybe like right under that, I would think.
I mean, also you gotta figure he's gonna snap out of it. I mean, he's doing, his numbers are pretty good, but you gotta figure he's gonna snap out of it for his future because, like we were saying, he's a Boris guy. He fired his agent to get Boris. Turned down a deal at the time that might be similar to Chapman. I don't know if what he thinks he might get on that open market. I know the old Boris would be trying to get $35 million a year for him, but I don't think that's a thing for those guys anymore.
No, neither do I. And the other thing I was going to say is, I was noticing here though while you were telling me that was the Yankees Mets. You guys only play a 2-game series, or do you guys play 2 there and then 2 later? That's kind of like the Mariners and the Padres do, which is like one of the biggest pretend rivalries there is.
Yeah, 2 and 2, but we got killed.
It's more of a soft friendship, I would say. I wanted to play that thing. I saw one of the best. I don't know where it's at, but I got to get my shit together here. But I saw one of the best Instagram, whatever, TikTok, or what they call remixes, mashups, and it's Grimace throwing out the first pitch, but prior to that, it's mashed up with remixed with Edwin Diaz's entrance with Timmy Trumpet. I'll try to find that before the end of this pod, but that's pretty cool. Also, Edwin Diaz busted, right?
Yeah.
So let's recap that. Obviously, I know a lot about Sugar Diaz. He's a Mariner guy. Went over to New York in that Cano deal. So he got busted. Was this during the Yankees game or before you guys?
No, before. Yeah, I think the game before.
So he got busted doing what? He had just shit all over his hands, or?
Yeah, there was just too sticky. He said it was dirt and rosin, sweat and rosin, and dirt. Yeah, and I guess he didn't appeal. He got busted, and then the umpire doubled down after and said it was definitely not what he said it was. So, but I mean, this is a thing. People cheat, and it's just about getting caught.
So what happens?
How you could wipe your hands before, like you're going to get checked.
Yeah, he's just not.
Every single entrance and exit.
He's not had a great year. He's not had the year. So I definitely the intent there to cheat is there too as well.
Yeah, he cried after a game at some point this year.
So, but let's talk about some positive stuff. Obviously, in the series, the Mets pounded you guys, right? At 12 runs and 9 runs.
They pounded our starters. They pounded our bullpen. Our bats, other than Opie, Soto, and Judge up top, everybody's just collectively dead. Stanton's hurt. Things change fast. We don't look. We just get reminded of the shitty Yankees from the end of 22 or the Yankees last year, where LeMahieu's done. Verdugo was 0 for 20 something. Rizzo's hurt. Stanton's hurt. And we got Torres sucks. And, even Judge, I don't know if you saw Judge hit a grand slam to make it 9-7 in the first night.
I did. Let's actually illegally pull this up right here.
By the way, he's got 30 home runs and 77 RBIs.
Yeah, we're gonna go through his stats. Look, it's just ripping. That lefty pitching before that reminded me of Johan Santana. Let's get here. Here comes the grand slam. 109.5 off the bat. Launch angle of 41.
It didn't look like it was going out.
No, just up.
Boom.
Just
kept going.
It just shot off the bat so fast, high, that it carried that far.
Yeah.
Just another granny for him. But look at these stats. 30 jacks, 77 RBIs, 309. That's like hitting 350 nowadays. Yeah. And that OPS is disgusting. I mean, this is a Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, fucking Ted Williams, Willie Mays, Babe Ruth shit right there, right?
Did you see that?
Look at his career. His career is 996.
Dude, he's 2 points out of the lead in a batting title for the batting title. Witt is ahead with 311. If he gets to that, he's back in the Triple Crown driving seat with nobody catching up to him in home runs and RBIs. I mean, in 2022, at this point last year, he was hitting 281, 29 home runs, 60 RBIs, 12 doubles. And this year, this is not including last night because that was the same amount of games as 2022. 304, 29 home runs, 75 RBIs, 23 doubles. So has 11 more doubles than that MVP home run record season. Same amount of home runs and 15 more RBIs. That's what Soto's sitting in front of him, walking almost every at bat. So,
yeah. I mean, I look at those stats right there, and I go, just right there. I just want to pull another superstar that you were laying into. My
superstar?
My beloved Julio Rodriguez. Let's pull him up. So everybody, if you're watching there, take a mental image of those stats. Let's go look at Julio Rodriguez, who just went 3 for 33 on this last road trip, and I'm going to be doing the rye bread mustard later. Just obviously a topic. Look, 7 home runs, 29 RBIs. I mean, 7 home runs and 29 RBIs. That's what like Judge has been like putting down in a month.
I mean, what is it? June?
It's going to be July, and that's July on Monday.
That's what he did in his cold month of April. In April, he didn't. He might have had like 6 home runs or something crazy. And then he just was on this unbelievable tear. I mean, that's the crazy thing. It's like in 2022, he turned into like, oh, this is what Judge is, healthy, no lingering injury. And this is what he looked like last year before he ran into that fucking wall in Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, he was in Seattle, and then he went into, we watched him just completely dismantle the Mariners, robbing home runs, hitting home runs, just ripping balls off the wall. You're having a great time. You brought a cigar to the game. You're laying into everybody. You fly back. The Yankees fly back.
I went to the Dodger Yankee game that Friday night. We got killed. Betts had like 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, something like he went off. And then the next day, Judge ran through the fucking wall, and then he was, he came back and he did all right towards the end of the year, but we were already out of the picture. But the point is like he's gets to this place now that it was a little bit elusive in his first few years because we would see a flash, he'd get hurt, not permanently, but enough to be out, and then have to labor through that or get back into it and be him again. But now we're seeing like, all right, so when this guy is just healthy and locked in, it's shit you've never seen before in your life.
Now I'm gonna pull up the what you were talking about here. You sent me the thing of 2022 stats and this year's stats where they're almost identical, except for he's somewhat outdoing what he did in 2022 already.
Yeah, he's got 15 more RBIs. His OPS is like 2 points higher. He's got 11 more doubles. I mean, he's been, I don't know, it was a month ago. He was so on fire that everything he was hitting was a home run or a double. Like he didn't have a single for a week or two, and he was batting like 400 or 500 in that span. It's nuts. But he had 2 home runs, 7 RBIs this Yankee Mets series, and couldn't even put a dent in what they did to us offensively.
Well, I'll try to pull that stat up here, vision of it later. Let's move on to Julio's team here. My team, obviously. Last week I was sitting on here feeling great. I just did an episode that say Mariners take firm control of the AL West. Well,
I'll tell you exactly what you did. You wholeheartedly said to me, this is the point of the season where you want to pick out and you start rooting for who you want to face in the playoffs, which I thought was laughable. I mean, this was like a week and a half ago?
No, this is 1 week ago.
1 week ago.
1 week ago, the Mariners were up.
And I told you
10 games.
I said Texas won the World Series and they got players hurt coming back. And I said Houston still has all their good players, and they've just been a little banged up, but also just playing like shit. And I was like, that team, that annoying team that's also willing to cheat, all the things, that team's not going to just roll over and die. Now, do I think that I just said that I could see Houston making some type of run. This is baseball. I've seen a million times a team win 30 games down the stretch and be the best, hottest team rolling into the playoffs. And everything that I said just pretty much came true in that word, because Houston just swept the Orioles this weekend. And what's the lead now?
It's right here on the screen, 4.5. So they lost 5.5 games in a week. The Astros, the gatekeepers of the AL, if you will, since 2017, been in the ALCS or in the World Series. We were throwing dirt on the casket yesterday, and they just reached up like the fucking like it was the goddamn Undertaker and grabbed the Mariners by the throat. Also, the Rangers, World Series champions last year, only 7.5 back right now. Still, that's a week. But here's the thing about Mariners and Mariners fans. This is why it's scary. Is we have the last 2 World Series champions chasing you. That's what's going on. It's not
what made your comment so nuts to me. It was like,
well,
any team that's won knows how to win. They could, try to fight, as long as they have the players, the health, they could find, that groove again, theoretically, because they've done it. Houston's been that fucking team. Like, I know that they've gotten their asses kicked early, and so some of their things haven't worked out. I think Hader just figured out his season. Altuve's still doing his annoying shit. Here's Matt Chapman right here.
We got Matt Chapman up. We got a 0-0 game, 0-0 National League game.
I saw a picture of this pitcher. What's his first name? Manga?
Managa. He's on the Cubs.
I saw a picture of him with 2 WNBA players. They were like twice his size.
Not a big guy. But he's a left. Oh, so this could have not been a scored. I mean, this is very close to not being scoreless. Great play at the plate there by the Giants. Following inning, I believe Chapman probably threw that throw.
I'm gonna take Chapman on the Yankees right now.
Let's see. Here it is. I actually going back, but I don't know about the Giants. Let's look up the Giants. Let's look up the Giants. Let's look up the National League things, and we'll get back to. We're done talking about the Mariners. I got to do a whole nother podcast on that later. But yeah, it's
they're 11.5 games out. Dodgers are firmly in control there, but
8.5 up. Yeah, Cubs are in the cellar. And if you're in the last place in that division, that's rough. I feel like that division is a wrap. Like I said that too about this. Let's look up wild cards, because I believe San Francisco is definitely in the wild card. You can tell how much you and I watch the National League, where we're just kind of making stuff up, and then or making guesses. Well, I think I might even said, maybe not here, but I was talking about the Cubs, and I was like, that's a good Chicago Cubs team, and then they're in last place. But look, the Cubs, as bad as they are, is that pulling up on there? We're looking at the NL wild card right here. So we got.
It's a lot of teams to jump.
Yeah, you got Atlanta holding down. Well, I mean, they're chasing the Phillies. Phillies are, out to a good, strong lead. I mean, the Cardinals, only 3 games over 500, hold down the 2 spot. Padres, at the time of this recording, same thing, 3 games over 500. And then the Mets, 1.5 out. D-backs, 2.5. Pittsburgh, 2.5. San Francisco, 3. Washington Nationals, 3. But you go on and on. Look, the Cubs, 5, like you said, 5 games out of a wild card. I think we can write off the Miami Marlins and the Rockies, but pretty much any of these teams right now, if you're within 5 games, you still have a chance.
Yeah,
you got 80 games left, give or take.
There's this time for 3 different storylines between now and the playoffs. So yeah, you definitely jumped the gun on that. And like, look at the Mets. The Mets fans were suicidal. Yeah, like it was just horrendous. It was just a joke. They like trade everybody early. Why wait? I mean, that's just how crazy. Going 11-2, and it's so easy to do. I mean, like obviously it's hard, but like even the Yankees now getting their asses kicked. I mean, we could go 10-0. I mean, it doesn't feel like that right now, but we could do that at some other point. Anybody could do it, and I think I saw the Red Sox go like win 29 or 30 games down the stretch one year, but multiple teams, but them specifically.
It's. I mean, yeah, I agree. Like somebody can just rattle out. Look at the Mets. I mean, they were done. They were fucking done. But that also them getting hot a little bit, and with the NL, let's go back down there on the screen. I mean, this is pretty pitiful, So it's like if you get hot for a month, you're back in it in the NL. The only 2 teams that I don't think have a chance, or I know don't have a chance, are Colorado and Miami. But everybody else that looks pretty good. You go up to the AL on the wild card. I'm going to put the cutoff line right now. Blue Jays. The Angels, Oakland, and White Sox are not going to have a run in them. But look,
I think the Blue Jays are dead.
Okay. Well, I haven't written them off.
I think that core was hot and was working for them years ago now. And then once they got that target on their back, it's just proven to not be the case. I mean, Guerrero hasn't had anything close to those MVP years. Good player, good years, but Chet is hurt.
Yeah, and you never know if Vladdy's going to get dealt. Mariners play the Blue. You guys play the Blue Jays this weekend, and we play them next weekend. If both of our teams can bury them, then I'll write them completely off. Up next, you have the Rangers.
We got a 4 game against them. They do. There still is a little bit of hatred from a couple years ago. We had some run-ins with them and some judge jealousy. But so it could be a good 4 game. But the way the Yankees are playing right now, I don't think they could beat fucking anybody. So,
okay, moving on to Tigers. I don't know. I'm not. They're in it, but I'm not. I don't feel like they can make a run like the Rangers can. Rays only 3.5. I mean, they just took a series against Seattle. Houston only 3 out. Royals right now. Royals. That Royals team is good. I know you guys beat them, but they got a good squad. Bobby Witt,
definitely good.
Definitely good. They're tiebreaker outside looking in right now. So Red Sox still sticking around there. Tell me a little bit about the Red Sox.
I think we woke them up. Verdugo hit a big home run against them in the first game of that series. Acted crazy running the bases, which I'm just not a fan of. Well, they're all within, some level of taste. There is a line that I feel like you could cross where you just end up waking up the other team and pissing everybody off, and then they come back the next 2 days and kick the shit out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what happened. But so he kind of showed off that, and he's been slumping since then. But he's also run into a wall twice, and there might be something going on there. But they stole 9 bags off us the second game, and then like another 4 or 5 the next day. So that exposed us, and then we had the Orioles doing that shit to us. So and I said to my dad after the Red Sox won that first game, so in the fashion they did, Cora is a great manager, by the way. I was like, I bet this kind of wakes them up and they'll be in the mix too. So I think they're going to be looking for a spot there at the end. Can 3 wild cards come from the same division?
Well, technically, I believe so. I mean, if right now, if Tampa Bay were to catch, I'll pull that screen back.
I think they're done.
If Tampa Bay could catch, I don't know.
I know they build good teams and stuff like that, but when they do it, it's usually
well. Let's just say
they have a good year.
Well, let's just say hypothetically, Toronto sweeps you guys and sweeps the Mariners. They go on a run. They're never afraid to spend money. But let's just say one of your guys catch up there easily. Like you could have Baltimore Red Sox, Tampa Bay, Baltimore Red Sox. Who am I forgetting here? Rays or whatever. Whatever. Or you guys could slip down in there. Last year, it was very close to being two. Let's see. Last year, the AL West had 2 teams. The Mariners were the odd team out 2 years in a row. But there was at a point where we were like, we're going to have 3 teams. But yeah, it would be interesting if you could get 4 teams in a division sometime. Because you'd have the division winner, and then you'd have the 3 wild cards. And imagine this. Imagine if here's a scenario. Let's just say like the Yankees win the East, but they're the 3rd.
Steal a 3rd here.
Oh, we got some action here in the game. Ooh, he's safe.
Got a steal.
Chapman, you got to get that tag down now. Okay, let's just say there's a scenario where the AL. Let's just take the AL East for example, or the AL Central. Let's say AL East. You guys win the division. Baltimore, Boston, and Toronto all make the playoffs, but you guys were the 3rd place division winner, meaning you don't get to bye. There could be a situation where sometime in history with this new setup that 4 teams from a division could make it, and they all could be playing in that wild card round that first weekend.
Yeah. We got a home run here. Warner.
364. Not. What's it? 97 off the bat. The Cubs up 2-0.
I might have to check out place when I go up to.
It's a cool place.
About going to see the Yankees play Oakland.
What's really cool, besides the McCovey, did you see that guy jump?
No.
I wonder if he knows he's jumping into cement. But no, he jumped over the rail to go after the ball. He literally just.
That reminds me. Did you see? I don't know if it was last week or the week before. There was a home run hit to dead center-ish, maybe kind of left center, and there was just this weird section where everybody kind of had their own seats in their own spot, and it wasn't just a bunch of seats next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And the ball came right at this lady, and she just was like, it was just no fans. Nobody. Usually there's somebody around there with a glove, and she was just basically all on her own. And it just creams her right in the face, right in the eye, and it was just.
Oh, I remember the
woman versus the ball, and it was just. I was just like, in any other park, there's somebody else there to try to catch it, and it was just crazy to see a home run that happened on a home run.
Well, I remember the one that hit the lady earlier in the year in Toronto, and they didn't do shit for her.
Oh.
She didn't even get the ball.
Damn.
I don't know if I sent you that story. We talked about it on the other pod. So here we are in luck here, Vlad. I did find the Grimace thing, but I also found an interesting one I want to show you. You sent me this from the Dugout Report. It was Derek Jeter's dating diamond. This is pretty. This is correct. So you would know because you. Where does Derek Jeter on your personal fan? I know Judge is now your guy.
It's so tough to say, man.
Because it was a different era in your life, right? I mean, you grew up. This is your teenage idol.
Kind of in such a holy place that if you were like, oh, who's your favorite Yankee? Like, I feel like he's already in there. Like, I feel like I don't have to say it because it's like, yeah, of course he's that reached that God status. But I guess I would have to say one. But I can already tell you right now, Judge will be my favorite Yankee of all time. Just to, sorry, but
let's look at is this correct? Going around the diamond here.
I remember when every single one of these girls' names popped up in the newspaper.
So like, imagine if the team was taking the diamond. Let me see if I have some fun music.
But it's just like they were saying in his documentary. Like, if you look in left field, Mariah Carey's playing left. When that story popped up and she's at the game to see him, he's like a rookie killing it on the Yankees, or it was like his rookie season or maybe his second year. But like, it was just like, holy shit! Like, this kid's crushing it and also dating, this future diva thing. It was just like, I don't know if you remember, like the mid '90s, like.
I do remember them a couple.
I don't remember ever seeing pop stars dating the baseball players from my time. I mean, I think I remember like Madonna was dating Jose Canseco at one point. But like,
so when was Jessica Alba? What part of his career was that?
I would probably say like probably the early 2000s and peak Jessica Alba years.
Another Jessica Biel. When was that?
I don't know if that might have been I think a few of these were like pretty quick.
Who's this? Vanessa Miliano?
That one was semi later. I thought that one would stick.
So him and Scarlett Joe
I think that was pretty fast.
Who's this? Adriana Lima.
She's a model.
Adriana Lima.
Faster one.
I'll do that one again so I can edit the piece together. Adriana Lima?
Yeah, no, she's a model. I think that was a fast one.
Jordana Brewster?
That was, it was kind of like the beginning of Fast and the Furious stardom there. And, he likes them when their career's hot.
Minka Kelly? No idea who she is.
She was a kind of a later one, that another one I thought would stick. She was around for a while. I think they were dating during the 2009 World Series.
Tyra Banks, huh? That had to be a long time.
I don't remember that one.
That had to be a 90s thing, because she was with Chris Webber.
Was she?
Yeah.
He might have went out with her. I mean, you never know. I mean, if they see you out.
So this is basically, and then obviously his wife, right? Hannah Davis. This is the one, she got the ring. She's on the mound here in this picture. But like, these are all either they were an item, or this was like the New York page 6. Like, this was a
spotted
Us People magazine. But I'm just looking at this and I go, God damn. Imagine if they were coming out onto the field, right? Like, let's see it. I think they have some music on here. I'll do it. No,
I can't hear. But I will say, it's just crazy because, Jeter's this cool guy, but he doesn't really, he's not like this guy that wears it like, hey, I'm some ladies man guy, or he's not flashy in that sense. Like, he was just all business. And then, like, how many, we don't get to see anybody's defensive alignment of people they dated. So like, that's just kind of another cool thing. Is like, he wasn't going out of his way to, he's not like some rapper who's like, hey, I dated Mariah Carey and Jessica Alba, like, or like saying it in podcasts. Like,
no, he's the captain. He's the silent.
He did it, and we know, like, somebody put this thing together. Like, how many other players even could do that, or do we have? I mean, I know A-Rod dated Kate Hudson for a good period of time. They might have been dating during his World Series.
The only thing that we ever had close to that in Seattle was pretty much
Griffey was a family man, right?
Yeah, and it wasn't even the Mariners. It was the Seahawks where Russell Wilson and Ciara were together.
Ciara?
Ciara.
Is that how it's said?
Yes. Put some respect on that.
Is
name.
it? Sorry.
No. Yeah, I mean that was basically the thing. But imagine I'm trying to find some fun music, but I don't think it's gonna work out. But imagine them coming out onto the field. You know, like he's got a whole lineup here. Like, it's sure Derek Jeter dated women, you know, in
The
left
only person
field.
I could say that's comparable to is Pete Davidson. You could make one of those infield alignment of Pete Davidson right now, and it would be like a modern day version of this.
That's hilarious. But you can't compare Pete Davidson to
on this in this game. I think so. That we know, anyways. But I just thought it was just such a hilarious thing, and I think they got Tyra Banks in the DH position because nobody remembers that one.
Right.
Yeah, it must have been real. It must have been early.
Well, I am running into a technical difficulty. Oh, there, I'm back. Okay. Well, no, but yeah, definitely you could be like in left field, Mariah Carey. You know,
Batting.
yeah. In center field.
Center fielder.
Yeah.
Jessica Alba.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's start it over. Do it.
Just the whole thing.
What's the famous Yankees
Bob
announcer?
Shepard.
Bob Shepard.
the
Let's
voice
hear.
of God.
Let's hear all of them in Bob Shepard's
For
voice.
the Yankees, starting in left field, Mariah Carey. In center field, Jessica Alba. In right field, Jessica Biel. Third base, Vanessa Manillo. Shortstop, Scarlett Johansson. Second base, Adriana Lima. First base, Jordana Brewster. Catcher, Minka Kelly. Designated hitter, Tyra Banks. And pitching for the New York Yankees, Hannah Davis.
Doesn't it go Davis?
Derek Jeter.
That was great. All right. So what I was trying to get to here was this. We were talking about this earlier. I found it. The Grimace saves the Mets. I know we got to do it. I don't know if this is playing on the pod. I don't hear it coming through the but there it is. This is from Mark's MARXTAKE Mark's Takes. So MARXTAKES if you want to find it.
Introducing the ultimate baseball
Now they
fan.
play this song
All
at
the way
every
from McDonald Land.
every
Please welcome
sport.
the
In
one,
hockey
the
games,
only
playoffs,
Grimace.
the NBA playoffs.
I can't. Oh, there
Every
is-
baseball league, they didn't respect it as a Mets thing, and that's happens when he got hurt the next year.
Were they playing the Dodgers when this happened?
Dude, I don't even know.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you who's really got to be loving this besides Grimace. McDonald's. I mean, they literally have taken
Free
a character that we might remember from the fucking 80s. You know, like Grimace isn't even a thing. Like if you're thinking of big purple things, it's Barney, right? Like
I always thought he was Soda.
really. Well, I mean, you had the Hamburglar, right?
I was like, does he represent Soda?
I don't know what he represents. We'll have to. Let's see.
Like, doesn't he look like an upside down frozen
I'll have
soda?
to look that up right now. What Grimace is?
You know, it's stupid, but now they got fans dressed as Grimace before the game. Have his name on the jersey, whatever.
Well, Grimace.
you're
What's
winning
crazy is Grimace is actually, if you just write in the word Grimace, not the name, it's dictionary. It is a twisted expression on a person's face, typically expressing disgust, pain, weary, or amusement.
An amusement.
Grimace. And then there's a Grimace shake, which is maybe he's a milkshake, because it says the Grimace is a berry flavored milkshake that was first sold to restaurants. No, this is in 2023. I'm gonna look it up. Grimace origins. McDonald's. Oh, here it is. What is he supposed to be? It says, however, fans never really know what he's supposed to be. That changed back in 2021 when Brian Bates, a manager of a McDonald's in Canada, revealed the answer to the Golden Arch's biggest mystery, telling CBC News that Grimace is an enormous taste bud.
Oh.
But taste bud.
That's a Canadian guy. So I gotta wait to see what the American CEO says.
Let's see. When was he introduced?
Just keep it a secret.
You just don't want to know. Let's keep it a secret. But now
I'm rejecting that. I think I don't know, or soda.
Well, there's something here called the untold. Whoa, are you seeing that? Do I have this shared on the screen?
No.
It's okay. Well, I won't right now because it's kind of crazy, but it's basically on YouTube. It's called The Untold Truth of McDonald's Evil Grimace.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's on Grunge. They got a couple million subscribers, so it's got some views. Oh, no, they got 2.36 million subscribers, but their videos only got 13,000 views. But this is from 2 months ago. We'll have to check that out afterwards. So again, that's called The Untold Truth of Grimace. But let's see. We're just about at our hour that we said we were only going to do today. So was there anything else that we should talk about? Hey, also, if you are watching it, I know this is kind of a newer thing. You can comment. We'll get your comments on here. Also, if you want to get on the show, hit up me or Vlad, and you can get on here. We're going to have some more hot stove stuff to talk about the next couple of weeks. We're also going to be able to talk a little bit more about the All-Star game shit next week. Actually, it's 4th of July next week, so we'll let you know if we might do a fun little morning one. We'll see.
We'll see about it. I think also moving forward, we kind of dropped the ball because if we knew there was no Niner game this week, we could have just did the Mariners one yesterday. So we should just kind of check on Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
If it's a better situation,
right.
Obviously next week we'll see what happens. But
we got a lot of stuff here that I'll probably put out on the podcast thing. Oh, one thing we did want to talk about. The All-Star voting ended, but the All-Star hats were released, and you were not a fan of it. I think they're all right. They're better than last year's. I thought Seattle, it was a very minimal change to it. I almost
bought one.
I really enjoyed
in Seattle when I went when I was up there.
You did. I really enjoyed the 2022 hats and uniforms more than I've liked anything from the All-Star. The LA Dodgers, I felt like did it right, but let's just take a look at these. So you do not like. I think the National League ones are cool. Like, let's look at the Dodgers one. I like this. It's definitely.
It's a lot for an ugly hat.
I like the National League
if
ones.
If it was $30, I might grab that thing.
The American League ones.
See, look at this. If you go 4 down, it's the workout hat. That's just the Dodgers colors with this, all-star.
See, those are nice.
Get up.
You like the workout hat? Let's see. Look at the Yankees workout hat.
But that also just kind of looks like just some, different style Yankee hat. I like the ones from when the Dodgers all-star.
That's what I was saying. Those the gold and the black or the gray and the.
But they're nice.
They're simple.
I got
simple.
the Yankee one and I got the black one that they wore.
You were telling me you did not like this salmon colored thing. It's kind of an orange. I know that it's down in Dallas, Texas. This is a very interesting color choice for Dallas.
Nothing to do with their team colors. It usually has something to do with that team's colors if it works.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research on this for next week, and we'll
yeah, we still got time to get to the.
We'll figure it out.
Thumbs down on
your comment was like, would you say who
asked for salmon?
Well, apparently it's a red.
You know, it's crazy. My brother was wearing a salmon Yankees hat while I was home in Connecticut a couple weeks ago, and I made a comment about it.
I was known to wear salmon shirts, salmon colored.
I mean, I got a polo. There's times for salmon, but on the baseball field, come on. But yeah, we'll get to the real All-Star Game stuff next time.
We do have a comment. Once I said that, yo, Cuzzo, it's Danny. I hope the pod. Oh, look, I can just show this. Is this one of your fans here?
Who? Oh yeah. What's up, Danny?
There it is. And look, I figured out how to put the comments on the screen. You also closed out your Instagram there.
Did I?
Yeah. Lost.
No, I didn't.
It says information. And now you're back on. I don't know. It says Instagram has disconnected from the stream. Well, that's it. The show's over. What if that happens? If we lose Vlad's thing, but before we get out of here, like we were saying, next Wednesday or Thursday, we're gonna figure it out. We'll have another one. Also, if you want to check out like the best of the show or the other shows, I'm gonna be putting some of those out on the Rye Bread and Mustard podcast channel. Also, if you missed this show or you just hopped on, you can also check out tomorrow's, or actually it might be later today's, Rye Bread and Mustard Mariners podcast. This will be on the good stuff. Will be on the which is all of it. Will be on the end of that episode. Anyways, do you like this beat now again, or are you still?
We heard it 83 times in a row. First stream.
All right.
Take care.
End stream.